Hopefully, I'll get this right. It is Monday, the 8th of September. The new season begins this Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, at least on the NA server, which is what I'm on. And we get a Necromancer this week. I don't normally make these, and I tried to make one last week. And I did make one, but then I realized that I biffed it, and I was a week early, basically. So this is 429. This is the correct one for this week. So I'm going to start this. You go into your main menu here. You choose Challenge Rift, Start Game. Don't do this until you have created a new seasonal character. Otherwise, you won't be able to receive the goodie bag on your new seasonal character. So hold off doing this, and I'm not even going to finish it right now. I'm going to get like 3/4 of the way through just to show you, how it works. But I'm not going to finish it. And I do have some maps here. I'm going to show you the first floor. You basically come in here. There's a yellow here. Speed pylon. You're going to run all the way right to this blue. It's a pack of 3, I think. Going to kill them. I mislabeled them here, and I erased it basically with black. Come down here, grab the yellow, get the conduit, the condi, kill the blue, exit here. I'm going to move this over here so it's on my screen, so I can still see it. This is the second floor. Come in over here. Basically just run all the way to here. Kill the blue, kill the yellow, grab the power pylon, kill the yellow, kill the blue, come down, kill the blue, and exit. Last floor. You might not even need this floor. I don't think I even needed it. I was like almost finishing too quickly. Come in here, kill the blue here, kill the yellow here, yellow, 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 and there's the exit, but I'm not even going to bother with a fourth floor because meh. Now, this is when I'm going to set up my bar. I went ahead and captured this, and there's a specific reason I set it up this way. To change the positions, which you can do if you just go to your skills page, whatever keybind takes you there. You can move these around. I'm going to put this here on E. This is going to go on R. This is going to go on W. This is going to go on right click. So basically what's going to happen is we're going to go in. I'm going to hit Bone Armor and Army of the Dead right on the first boss, which is, let me open this up here. Floor 1. Floor 1, where are you? I'm going to drop it right on the first boss. Now, the first boss, it's really dicey to get in there. You could die before you get the first boss. Just sort of keep your distance and drop this off at a distance, because you can target it, right? You can just like hit E or whatever keybind, and you can it'll go wherever your mouse is. So just sort of do it remote control. And the way this build works is it uses the Rathma set. If you've never used this before, it works sort of backwards in a way. The only spell that is going to really do any damage is this spell. So everything you do is to try to get this to be reset. Well, that's half of what you're going to do. The other half is going to try to keep yourself from dying. And the way you're going to do that is one, by moving, because we have Traveler's Pledge, Neck, and Ring. So you can see the numbers there changing over. So we now have 50% damage reduction, right? If you stop, then it starts to move back over to damage dealt versus damage taken, which is fine, as long as you just keep moving generally. The other thing that we're going to get that helps us survive is the 4-piece here, right? So minions no longer take damage. You gain 1% damage reduction for 15 seconds each time one of your minions deals damage. Basically, as long as you're moving through the rift and any of your minions is doing damage, you're going to keep those stacks. So 75% damage reduction is pretty nice, especially when you add it to the Traveler's Pledge. So once you start moving and you start moving through the rift, you get really tanky. Now, each permanent minion increases the damage of Army of the Dead by 1750%, up to 315 times normal damage. Now, you're going to have the 7 minions from this spell and the 10 minions from this spell. That's where you're going to use Revive. You're only going to use it at the very beginning, and that's the only time you ever have to use it. Once you have 10 extra minions, and you'll see that in the HUD here, then you never have to cast this again. That's why I put it way over there and I left it way over there, right? We're probably never going to need to use Siphon Blood. We're probably never really going to need to use Command Skeletons. Mostly, we're just going to use Bone Armor and Army of the Dead. And everything else is going to take care of itself. If you need healing, you can use this, but you probably won't need it. You know, just health globes are usually enough. Blood Rush if you want to, but I don't really need it. But let's just show you. And most of these other things don't do anything. And sadly, there's nothing in the cube because this person is brain dead or something. I don't know, maybe they're challenging themselves. This doesn't really help anything. This doesn't really, well, I guess this does help, but only if you command your skeletons against the enemy. But it's not really needed. It doesn't really do much for you. I don't even command the skeletons, and I'm still killing every boss in one hit. This doesn't do anything because we're not using Grim Scythe. This doesn't do anything because we have no secondary skills. This doesn't do anything because we have no curses. So it's like sort of a brain dead build. It's like most of these other things are here just for stats. This is here just so he doesn't have to have 6 pieces. I don't know why that's, why not just slot the last piece and avoid that? I don't know. Very brain dead build, but I'll show you how it works. So we're going to go in here. I'm going to basically get all this. I'm going to basically do that. You can see how dicey it is at the very beginning. And we're going to try to revive as many of these as we can with Q. There we go. Now we have our 10 millions. Now we start moving. Going to grab this pylon. Now we're very tanky. I'm going to lower this volume here. I'm going to basically just go right for the elites. There's nothing really positive or beneficial about killing all these other groups, unless we're sort of locked in somewhere. But you can see they all die in one hit, even though I'm not commanding my skeletons against them. Okay, now we have a yellow down here. Boom, dead. And we have our 75 stacks from minions attacking things. We have our 10 extra minions, 7 base minions. So we have our maximum amount of damage that we can possibly do. Another group right here. We could just sort of hang out and wait until Army of the Dead resets, because our minions are always attacking things. Basically, as long as you're hitting fresh enemies, your minions are attacking. Then we're going to go straight up here, past all this crap. We don't need to kill anything. We don't need to waste our shit on anything. WE right there. And if we're not reset by the time we get to the next enemy, we'll just kind of chill out here for a moment. It'll reset. Boom. Done. Reset. Power pylon. We're going to chill here for a moment. Just going to move around to keep my Traveler's Pledge going as my minions attack things. Boom. Hit E. They're dead. You can see it's a very chill, very powerful build. So while he didn't, or he or she didn't include any of that other stuff, they didn't really need it. We're already much more powerful than we need to be. But yeah, I'm just doing W and E, and that's really all I'm doing. I'm not using Blood Siphon. I'm not using Command Skeletons. Just W and E. That's it. I could use Blood Rush if I wanted to, but I don't really need to, right? It's not really doing anything for me. I'm going to go and leave the rift now. As you can see, you're going to have more than enough time to finish this if you get your buffs running. And that's it. That's this challenge rift. Don't do it until Friday at 8 p.m. after you've created your seasonal character. Or if you're on the West Coast or somewhere in between, 5 p.m., 6 p.m., 7 p.m. Or if you're, somewhere else in the world, do it at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's it. Bye.